Can you imagine getting married and your partner doesn't want kids? Titi met William when she was in university. He was 10 years older than her, but they met by chance, got along great, and sparks were flying. They were in love very quickly, and their relationship, to be honest, blossomed. For 3 whole years, everything was going great. And by the time she finished university, William proposed. It was a magical experience. Titi had finished university. William was a high-earning financial manager at a very, very big company. Everything was going great. They got married. Everybody celebrated with them, their friends and family. Titi was a principled woman. She had a plan. She wanted to start having kids as soon as they got married. So 1 year down the line, she tells William, hey, I'm ready for us to start trying for a kid. Let's, build this family. William says, I love you. I like the plan, but let's wait. I wanted us to wait for 5 years before we then bring kids. Titi was like, I'm not sure. That's not what I thought we were going to do. But let's wait a little bit, right? Maybe not the 5 years, but let's wait a little bit. 2nd year had gone by and still William was not in any hurry whatsoever. So Titi took it upon herself. Within their first few years of marriage, Titi learned so much more to William that she had experienced. Not only was he a financial manager, but their lavish lifestyle came from him taking little extra funds from the company. However, they were married. She was fully in love with him. She was his ride or die. So through it all, Titi trusted William, trusted that, sometimes you have to do the wrong thing for the right reasons. She never questioned his integrity and figured that eventually they will have enough money that he won't have to continue. By year 2, Titi was starting to get impatient. She really wanted to start having kids, but William was still hesitant. She would ask and make scenarios, start planning, and he would always say, let's wait till 5 years, let's wait a little bit. I want us to have kids, but not right now. Eventually, Titi took it upon herself. Quietly, secretly, she went to the doctor, got rid of all her birth control and said, you know what? It will have to happen. And of course, their intimate interactions increased because Titi was a woman with a plan. And still, a year later, nothing had happened. At this point, Titi was starting to get very worried. It's been 3 years, getting to 4 years, and still nothing had happened. So she told William and said, look, I know you're not ready to have kids yet, so to speak, but let's just check and see if we're both healthy, if we're both well, if there's anything that could be stopping us from having kids. So they go to the hospital. William gets checked. Titi gets checked. Eventually the doctor, calls them in a while later and explains to them that, look, both of you are doing well. You're both healthy. You're both fine and you're both fertile. If you want to have kids, it will happen. One big stressor is not to think about it. Wait and it will happen naturally. But Titi could not wait. William, he on his hand, was completely overjoyed. He was like, great, we're both fine, we're both healthy, let's carry on. By this time, Titi had tried everything she had known. So she decided to, put it out of her mind for a little bit. Give it maybe 6 months and then try again aggressively. One random day, Titi's at home working and her laptop is spoiled. So she asks William to use his. He agrees, not thinking much of it. She gets on the laptop, a couple of tabs are open, and she says, wait, let me check what William's test results were, because I saw mine, but I didn't see his. Goes into his email and starts typing. She types the information, finds an email from the clinic that was to reveal their test results. However, she finds something even more strange. Another email from 3 years earlier. She clicks on it and finds out details explaining that William had had a vasectomy. They'd been trying to have kids. Meanwhile, he knew, absolutely knew, that he had ensured that would not happen. In that moment, Titi's both upset, furious, confused. So she sits down and waits patiently for William to come back. Upon his arrival, she looks at him and says, look, I know the truth. You got a vasectomy and I want to know why, when, why, for what reason, and why you have lied to me. Surprisingly enough, William confesses. He said, yes, what you are seeing is true. I got it because I had told you when we got married, after we got married, that I wanted us to wait 5 years. Just 5 years of us to just be us, enjoy a relationship, enjoy the devil's tango before kids come into the picture. You didn't seem sure, but I will have it reversed. Titi said that is your only option. If you want this marriage to work, you will absolutely reverse it immediately. Surprisingly enough, William agreed and scheduled for his reversal procedure a month later. Christmas that year was a little strange. That same weekend, Titi and William were supposed to go to William's family house to have dinner on a Sunday, chit chat, hang out with the family members and all. They went for dinner, had a great time, and just as they were about to leave, William's sister grabbed Titi and said, I quickly need to speak to you. Just 2 minutes. There's something I need to tell you. Not thinking much of it, Titi says, okay, sure. What's going on? What happened? William's sister says, look, I need to tell you something I found out. My brother is not who you think he is. Titi said, well, I found out a few things too, but go ahead, tell me what you know. William's sister says, look, William actually has 3 kids in the US by another woman. I don't know when it started. I don't know what happened, but it's just, you needed to know. You were completely blindsided. In that moment, Titi says nothing. She has no emotion. She has no reaction. She nods her head. And as she gets home, all she can process is her anger, her betrayal, her shock. All these years, all the time dating him, all this time married to him, she'd known him for over 7 years, just to find out that he had not 1, not 2, but 3 whole children in a completely different country by another woman, whereas she was here married to him, struggling to have his child. But another thing clicked. All the times he had confessed to her that his financial managerial role, he was skimming a little bit off the top at his company. That's what he was using their money for. That's where it was going, to fund a completely independent family abroad. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And Titi was scorned. Hold up, wait, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the show. So she came up with a plan. William was due for his vasectomy reversal in a month. So she would wait, bid her time, and strategize. 3 months later, Titi put her plan in motion. She had somehow convinced William that this evening they were going to have intimate relations, but with the help of a rubber. I mean, he had gotten his vasectomy reversed, so he didn't want kids right now, so precaution. She really, really tried to play the kind and understanding and dutiful wife. 2 months later, William gets a call. A woman on the phone tells him that he has impregnated her daughter. William goes, absolutely not, and cuts the call. But calls like that keep happening the whole entire day. A week later, William comes home from work to meet his entire family and a few strangers. So the family walks up to William and says, your house help Fatum has come to us. She is pregnant and you are the father. William said, not possible. I've not touched this woman. She comes, cleans, cooks, does her business, and goes. I don't understand what you're telling me. The family erupted in noise. Everybody had a comment to make. Everybody had something to say. William, you have betrayed the family. You have impregnated this woman. Explain yourself and take responsibility. And of course, William is denying left, right, and center. He had nothing to do with this. There must be a mistake. Amidst all the chaos, Titi says, you know what? Everyone, please leave. Thank you for coming. We will sort this out as a family. I'm tired. I feel betrayed. I am angry. This needs to end. So, little by little, the whole family piled out. Fatu and her family also left. Now, Titi sits with William and William goes, look, Titi, I'm sorry. I didn't do anything. It's not me. There has to be some mistake. Titi said, oh, absolutely not. You are indeed the father of Fatu's baby. William said, I've never touched her. I don't know how this could have happened. It is not me. Titi said, oh yes, that too I know. I absolutely know that you did not do this. I did. William said, you did what? Titi said, I found out that whilst I have been married to you, while I have been attempting to have our kids, whilst I have kept your secrets, you have had not 1, not 2, but 3 children outside of this relationship with another woman. You are using your embezzlement money to finance them in the States. You think I would not find out? You think I have kept your secrets for no good reason? You cannot betray me. William says, he didn't know what to say. He attempted to beg for forgiveness, but Titi said, absolutely not. So William asked a very important question. How did this happen? I have not touched Fatu. Titi said, of course not. But do you remember a few months ago when we had intimate relations and we used a rubber? I took that rubber, convinced Fatu that this would be her and her family's gateway out of poverty. I took her to a clinic, gave her a very specific doctor to consult, and she was artificially inseminated. William says, "This is fraud. I will take you guys to court. This is absolute slander." Titi said, "You can't do nothing. I have proof, information, facts about the embezzlement you have been doing as financial manager in your company. I will release that information unless you follow my following instructions. You, William, will accept paternity and ownership of Fatu's baby. You will then proceed to pay her and her family a large sum of money initially and continued payments for the rest of their lives. In addition, you will tell no one of this information and keep our secrets, because from now on, William, I am divorcing you, William, and you will agree to whatever settlement I put before you." William had no choice but to agree. As it stands right now, Fatu's child is 2 months away from being born, and William no longer knows what's next. Now that's an entangled web. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube at EntangledWebStories, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!